listen, the question I kind of asked a little bit earlier on is, are you confident that we can go and win the Euros? I hate the negativity that always seems to fall upon the Three Lions every time we go into a tournament. So inject some positivity if you can. Let's get straight to your calls on 03717 223344. John in Sunderland, good evening.
Hello, lads. Thanks for giving me a call.
No, thanks for calling.
Do you actually think the squad's better than what we've had in the past? Because I'm a bit delusional. Because when we had Rooney in all the minutes. Are you telling me this squad's better than what we've had in the past?
The squad is for sure. If you're looking 1 to 23, no offence to kind of outside England's first team, we had an amazing first 11. But outside of that, you would say there were some good players, but now we have a real depth that goes kind of at least down to 16, 17, 18 players in the squad.
Well, I wouldn't disagree with that, but we haven't even got two centre-halves who can keep a clean sheet.
Yeah, I think
it's not really been solved, has it, really?
That's a team issue. That's a team issue.
If you put both teams together, the team that you mentioned, John, and the team now, I'm with you. In terms of the starting 11, I don't think there's many players that get into that starting 11. Defence, maybe Kyle Walker over Gary Neville, wouldn't it? Maybe Kyle Walker. Yeah. But even then, it is tight in terms of what they had as a back four. You'd say Bellingham would get in, but in front of who?
I agree to a certain extent. I'm a staunch England fan, by the way. I've been all over the world watching England. Not so much now since I've had kids. And
they ruin everything.
When some club fads are, you're right, like. The missus has helped you on some things on the way, mate. That's me getting no tea and something on the no, but anyway. No, and I mean, Southgate, he's getting so much stick. Yet he's getting with the semi-final, he's getting with the final. Kane's fault, missed the penalty. And some of the times that you're blaming the players, I don't think the players are necessarily sitting back on some of the games. I think they're absolutely frank themselves. I don't think Gareth Southgate's in right, let's sit back with a flat back 8 or 9. I think the players are well in the back of their mind that are thinking, this defence is not great. We're all consciously having to protect the one-goal lead. And we all know that. If he goes and plays 8 or 9 attack and players will get beat 3 or 4-0, they'll all say, he's terrible manager, he's this, he's that. I think he's got what he's got. He knows we're not great in the two centre-halves. And he does have to be a little bit careful, And the last thing I'd like to say, lads, before I go, I'm a Southern fan. And when Henderson was at Sunderland, we didn't think he was very good. And when Liverpool gave us that kind of money, we're like, brilliant. He's been absolutely fabulous for Liverpool. England were terrible till he played in the last tournament. They were terrible. He was the game changer. Now, you've got to have somebody like him who's won things, and he's got to control the midfield because he sits in front of them back too. And I think he's ideal when we're under a little bit of pressure. Yes, I agree he shouldn't be starting, but if you don't take people with a lot of know how to win Champions Leagues and stuff like that, we're going to struggle. I can't remember who was on TalkSPORT a little bit earlier on. He said the only problem England have got is they don't know how to win these finals. They haven't got a clue. And he said that's what I'd be concerned with, because if you're used to winning things and stuff like that, it becomes easier. England haven't won nothing for donkey's years. They really haven't. But hey, listen, I'm a staunch England fan and I'm looking forward to it. And I think if we can get the back a little bit tightened up, I think we've got as good a chance as anybody else. We've got nothing to fear. These friendlies mean nothing. I thought we made Brazil look better than they are because the back four hadn't really played together much. I didn't think we played very well. I thought Bellingham was really close with you. You've got to be on the ball from the beginning to the end, So you can't just blame Gareth. Some of these people are asking for their chances. And they don't perform.
John, I appreciate your call. The line's just breaking up there a little bit, John, but
it's
appreciate you calling.
It's a good call, Q. You know what? The argument I have with Gareth, yes, he's been successful off the pitch. I think what he's done to galvanise the country, how he has brought the media and the players closer than they've ever been, that's all down to Gareth. That's his philosophy. That's what he's done. In terms of on the pitch, when people say he's been successful, he's got us to his final, semi-final, no, he's just been better than the previous managers, in my opinion. That's not success. Coming second is not successful in terms of the squads that we have. He's just been better than previous managers, bar Sir Alf Ramsey, as John said there. So the argument that it's been a massive success because he's got to the final and the semi-final and obviously lost to France as well, I disagree with that. He's just been better than the managers previous to him.
I also
the only way he's a success is if he wins these Euros. Then he can go out and go, I done it. Semis, final, and then I won it. I'm a success.
Yeah. I also think international football has changed.
Yeah.
And the quality is not quite what it was back in the day when you think of like great Italy sides, a Germany side, 1 to 11, you'd be taking on, even we had difficult games against Portugal in the early 2000s. We couldn't get past them at a tournament for quite a while. And all the big nations from South America were laden with incredible players. You think about the Brazilian side that we lost to in a World Cup. Rivaldo, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, those kinds of sides kind of left international football. There's a lot of good players, obviously, but I think actually that what we're dealing with right now has helped England because their squad has got better. Other nations aren't quite what they used to be. Think of the Netherlands as well, my word, back in the day too. So, things have changed. And I guess that should increase our hopes of winning a tournament soon. Let's get one more call in if we can. Adam, good evening. How are you?
Evening, gents. How are we?
Yeah,
very,
good,
very
Adam.
Well. What's your view on England?
You know what, quickly, Darren, am I right in saying you scored an absolute screamer at Old Trafford?
Yeah, one or two, Adam, yeah.
But you know what? I feel like a lot of the England fans have been so pessimistic this week.
Yeah.
Looking at the squad, I mean, nothing's won on paper. But when I look at this England team, I genuinely feel like there's a lot of hope. There's a lot of potential. And they keep talking about centre-back options. Like, what's wrong with Tomori? They have all these problems at centre-half. What's wrong with gambling with Tomori? He's gone to AC Milan. He's playing regular football.
But this is one of the criticisms, Adam, of Gareth, isn't it? Because you have players like Tomori, Gahey, who's doing particularly well in the Premier League as well. Whether he's going to be injury free remains to be seen. But he'll stick with Harry Maguire, which look, he never lets England down. I know that. But even if he doesn't play again for Manchester United, he's going to be in the starting team. So what hope does that give for players like Tonali?
And 100%. But that goes back to the same thing of I've heard people saying, Tony over Watkins. Now, to me, what kind of message does that send out?
You just bump into someone, Adam.
Where are you?
I was just doing a delivery. I'm walking back into my motor.
What are you delivering? Food?
Food.
Oh, I love that.
Lovely stuff. Lovely.
I'm an electrician by day, but then in the evenings I jump on and deliver food.
Brilliant.
But yeah, like with regards to I'm hearing people taking Tony over Watkins. Now, regardless of whatever Tony's done, what kind of message would the Gareth be sending out to Watkins and saying, like, you've scored 16 goals, 10 assists, you've had a fantastic season. He's probably going to get 20 before the Euros. What kind of message is that sending out to a player like Watkins? Like, well, I've done everything I can and I still can't get into this team. So, because to be honest, the main reason I called you guys, it wasn't about that. It was the thought process of, where has there ever been in a tournament where the third choice goalkeeper's actually been needed? I mean, you guys are the experts in your field, so I'm sure you might be able to remember.
Yeah, but I haven't got an encyclopedic memory.
I mean, I said the same thing, Adam. I'd like to see the statistics there of when the third goal has been needed, not played, but needed.
Yeah, but needed. Yeah, what's wrong with two goalkeepers? You've got so much attacking options and so many attacking players. Why can't it be a thing of where you're actually saying, you know what, we'll take Pickford and one other. Ideally, it would have been nice to have Pope, but you'll take one, Pickford and another, and then now it's like, you know what, we'll just take a gamble. Like, you're not going to really need three goalkeepers. Take a gamble, take all your attacking players, and just go for it, because it's an international tournament.
You know what happens. The goalkeeper gets injured in the first game, and suddenly the manager's an idiot because they haven't got three goalkeepers there. It's just needs must, safety first, so you're going to have to do it. Anyway, Adam, appreciate your call.
Cheers, Adam.
On
Cheers,
TalkSPORT
mate.
this evening.